Hey guys, it's WADZ with the WADZ channel. Welcome back to our Ducati DesertX adventure build. And if you haven't checked out part 1 and part 2, go back and check that out. But in today's episode, we're gonna dive into my 5 favorite mods. So without further ado, let's do it. Diving right in, these are the well-known Barkbusters. Comes with the hardware and the handguards. I picked them because they're bomb-proof. The bike and me have both crashed many a times, and they hold up. They tie in with the factory black look really well, and they provide just enough protection and wind coverage. Number 2, the Rottweiler quick flip mirrors. These are my favorite. I've had these on a couple of bikes. They also are very bomb proof. I've crashed. I'm really good at crashing, so I know these mirrors hold up really well. And all joking aside, they do flip out of the way. They do have a number of different positions. I would consider that kind of tucked in a bit, you know, but if you're lane splitting, yeah, I guess you could do that, eh? But I usually run them like this, or I do this. So those are my 2 favorite positions. Are serviceable. You can see here, you can pull them out, replace them. I've crushed them enough times to know that they're strong enough to, you know, manage a little bit of a beating. They are expensive though. They are high quality, and they do help reduce the wind buffeting. I wouldn't run anything else. I've tried running cheap mirrors. It's just not my jam. Number 3, Wunderlich sports tank bag. Just gonna remove this here and show you how quickly and clever it is. It's one of the best looking bags on the market. Have a look at this here. I'll just give you a side profile. So you can see it's got that little curve there. I didn't find any of the other bags have that. They were just like little square little blocks. They just look like boxes on the tank, and I just couldn't get my head around it. I didn't like the look at all, but I like these, or this particular design, because of that. It follows, you know, the profile of the gas tank, and it has these quick release system and a little Velcro at the bottom here. I'm trying to do it with one hand, you know, it's not super easy, but you get where I'm going with that. So it's just a quick release at the bottom here, and then these OEM little bits here, you tie those in super quick, and the stainless steel little snaps keeps it nice and secure and tight to the tank. It's perfect. Looks aside, functionality. Because with tank bags, they're never big enough and they're never small enough. That's what I've learned about tank bags. But this one finds a nice balance. Obviously I don't have much in it, but I mostly just keep a spare set of gloves, my lock, and some straps, and lunch, and phone, and charger in here. It's got a nice high contrast liner in it. It does come with a little bag to put contents into to keep them dry, but it's the design I liked. It's the clever mounting design that really resonated with me. I didn't want a bunch of straps on the tank, and I wanted something that I could get on and off really quickly. That fits the bill. Wunderlich sports tank bag. This is Vanash, and this is Scott's steering stabilizer. Now I know you guys are going to say, well, wait a second, it comes with a stock stabilizer, but it's also a non-adjustable steering stabilizer that comes stock. So I pulled that off and I installed the Scott steering stabilizer that's fully adjustable on the fly. It comes, so I bought it as a kit from Vanash, and what Vanash does is they provide you a riser right here, okay, and that rises it up, obviously, and connects directly to the Scott steering damper or stabilizer. And this is your sub mounts here, above and below the bars. It's about, I believe it's 10 mil, 3/8 of an inch rise, so barely noticeable, but you know, a little bit, and helpful for me at 6'1". Quick story, you know, with the steering mount. So I went on a 1,000-kilometer trip one day, 10 hours in the saddle, and after doing that trip, I cannot live without this steering stabilizer. At one point I thought I had a flat front tire, so I pulled over. No, I was all good. It was just the terrain that we were going through, and we were going pretty fast, and it was quite sandy. I turned up the steering stabilizer to almost full. It helped the bike track really well, and provided me just a whole lot of confidence. Before it was a bit sketchy. So having 10 hours in the saddle and testing this, if you would have said you're going to take this away from me now, I'd be like, well, I can't keep the bike. I have to have this now. I actually called Scott's to tell them about this story today because it was such a game changer for the long ride. Provided me confidence, more safety, just better controllability. And that's really important when you're hauling, you know what, right? So and when it comes down to steering stabilizers, you got to ask yourself, you know, do I want to spend $600 on an already expensive bike adding a stabilizer to a bike that already has one? Well, this one's adjustable, right? So if I'm on the highway, I don't need it cranked up full. But if I'm traveling, you know, down in Mexico or in Oregon or thick sand, I'm going to need that adjustability, and I want to be able to crank it up. And believe me, I had this cranked up to like 95% full, and it was perfect. But you know, that was extreme conditions. So just some feedback, because like I said, you know, you guys are asking yourself, do I need to spend that money for a riser, a sub mount, kit, stabilizer? And I would say 100% absolutely yes. For me, it was totally worth it. First 50 people that want some of these mirrors, it's WADZ up, WADZUP 1010. That gets you 10% off these bad boys. Again, that's nothing, none of that comes to me. I'm just helping you guys out. Unfortunately, nothing on the Barkbusters. I wish I had 10% to give you on the bags and the steering dampener, but I don't. So anyways, guys, those are my top 5. We're going to be doing part 4 and part 5 of the build coming up, so stick around for some more custom upgrades and mods. I hope you like what we're doing on the DesertX 2024. Stick around for more content and follow along for more Smiles for Miles. All right, guys, take care. Peace.